Good evening. Tonight, we explore a transformation that's reshaping not just China, but the entire world. For decades, China's rapid economic growth was fueled by coal, leaving its cities blanketed in thick, choking smog and its people concerned about the future of their environment. But now, China is at the forefront of a global green revolution, moving at a pace that's astonishing the world and setting new records year after year. This sweeping transformation is no accident. It's the result of a deliberate top-down strategy from Beijing, driven by a fierce war on pollution and unprecedented levels of state investment in clean technology. The goal is clear: clean up the environment, protect public health, and secure dominance in the industries of the future, from renewables to electric vehicles. In 2023 alone, China installed more solar capacity than the United States has managed in its entire history, a staggering achievement that highlights the scale of its ambition. The same story is unfolding in wind power, electric vehicles, and advanced battery production, where China is setting the pace for the rest of the world to follow. China isn't just building green technology, it's mastering the entire supply chain, from mining raw materials to assembling finished products, ensuring control at every step. As the world races to ditch fossil fuels and embrace clean energy, the path to a sustainable future increasingly runs through China's factories, ports, and innovation hubs. The solar panels on our roofs, the batteries powering our cars, and the turbines generating our electricity are likely made in China, or built with Chinese components, reflecting the country's global reach. This dominance gives Beijing immense economic and geopolitical leverage, reshaping global trade, competition, and the balance of power in the clean energy era. Let's talk about solar power, one of the most transformative forces in the global energy landscape today. Once considered expensive and limited to a few wealthy countries, solar energy is now the world's cheapest source of electricity, thanks in large part to China's remarkable rise in this industry. Over the past 2 decades, the Chinese government has poured billions of dollars into solar manufacturing, offering cheap loans, free or subsidized land, and generous R&D grants to local companies. This massive support enabled Chinese firms to build enormous factories, achieve unprecedented economies of scale, and relentlessly drive down production costs year after year. Today, China controls over 80% of the global solar panel supply chain, from the raw polysilicon used to make solar cells, all the way to the finished modules shipped around the world. Even solar panels assembled in other countries often rely heavily on Chinese-made components, making China the backbone of the industry. This dominance has made solar energy affordable and accessible worldwide, sparking a global boom in clean energy. But it has also created a deep dependency on Chinese supply chains. While China's rise has enabled a global green transition, it's also devastated solar manufacturing industries in the US and Europe, leading to factory closures and job losses. As countries race to meet their renewable energy goals, energy security concerns are rising, with policymakers realizing their ambitions now hinge on continued access to Chinese technology and materials. The world faces a complex dilemma: enjoying affordable green energy, but at the cost of growing reliance on a single country for critical technology. China's solar supremacy is both a major win for the climate and a significant strategic challenge for the rest of the world. As the industry continues to evolve, the future of solar power, and perhaps the fate of global energy, will be shaped in Beijing. China's green tech dominance extends to wind power. The country is now the world's largest wind market and a top global supplier of turbines. Chinese manufacturers like Goldwind and Envision Energy grew by serving massive domestic demand, protected by government policy. Now they're winning contracts worldwide, often underbidding Western rivals on price and matching them on technology. This global push is reshaping the wind industry, challenging the long-standing dominance of European and American firms. Increased competition means lower prices and faster wind energy deployment, a win for the climate. But it also raises concerns in the West about losing another key industrial sector. As China's wind giants expand, the world must balance the benefits of cheaper clean energy with the risks of strategic dependence. The wind revolution's new epicenter is unmistakably China. The global energy map is being redrawn. The electric vehicle revolution is happening, and China is in the driver's seat. China is both the world's largest EV market and producer, with brands like BYD and NIO going global. This dominance was engineered government subsidies, infrastructure investment, and production quotas, fueled rapid innovation and cost cuts. The real advantage? Batteries. Chinese firms like CATL and BYD make over 70% of the world's EV batteries. Western automakers are scrambling to catch up, often relying on Chinese tech and supply chains. Now, Chinese EVs are hitting showrooms from Munich to Sydney, and factories are popping up in Hungary and Thailand. In 2023, BYD overtook Tesla as the world's top EV seller, a symbolic power shift. The century-old auto industry is being rewritten in Mandarin. China's EV surge is reshaping global mobility and industrial power. The road to the future runs through China. Behind every green technology lies China's hidden advantage: rare earth minerals. These 17 metals are essential for wind turbines, EV motors, and energy-efficient lighting. Mining is tough, but refining is tougher, and China dominates, producing over 90% of the world's refined rare earths. This near monopoly gives Beijing powerful leverage in global tech and trade. In 2010, China halted rare earth exports to Japan during a dispute, sending shockwaves through supply chains. Western nations are now scrambling to rebuild their own supply, but it's slow, costly, and faces environmental hurdles. For now, the world's green ambitions depend on China's rare earths. This strategic chokehold is a major concern for the US, Europe, and Japan. China's control over these minerals is one of its most enduring advantages. China's strategy is evolving from exporting green tech to exporting entire factories. Chinese companies are building solar, battery, and EV plants across Southeast Asia, shifting from made in China to made by China worldwide. Countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and Malaysia are becoming new hubs for Chinese green manufacturing. This isn't just about exports, it's about embedding Chinese technology and standards globally. The new Green Belt and Road is less about loans for infrastructure, more about industrial investment and tech transfer. Host nations get jobs and advanced manufacturing. China gets a resilient, far-reaching supply chain. By building the green industries of tomorrow abroad, China is locking in long-term influence and customers. The global green transition is increasingly powered by Chinese capital and expertise. Why is China building factories overseas? It's a strategic move on multiple fronts. First, it's about bypassing trade barriers. US and EU tariffs on Chinese green tech are rising. By assembling products in countries like Vietnam or Mexico, Chinese firms can sidestep tariffs and access Western markets. Second, China's domestic market is saturated and competitive. Overseas expansion taps into new, fast-growing regions. Lower labor costs and local raw materials make foreign production more efficient. Third, investing abroad builds goodwill and economic ties. Host countries become partners, not just customers. A Chinese-owned EV factory employing thousands abroad makes anti-China policies less likely. This is economic diplomacy, securing supply chains and expanding influence. The result, a global network more resilient to US and European pressure. China's overseas factories are a masterstroke in the new green industrial chess game. The world is adapting to a new kind of globalization. China's global factory push isn't just about foreign markets, it's about solving problems at home. Overcapacity is a major issue. China's factories can make more green tech than its market can absorb. Exporting factories helps manage this glut, keeping plants open and jobs secure. For host countries, Chinese investment brings capital, technology, and jobs, helping them climb the manufacturing value chain. It can seem like a win-win. China finds new markets, partners get industrial upgrades. But there are risks. Over-dependence on Chinese tech, and the possibility that real innovation stays in China. Host nations must leverage these investments to build their own sustainable industries, not just become assembly lines. The challenge is balancing opportunity with independence. China's strategy is bold, but the outcome depends on how partners respond. The global green race is as much about local choices as Chinese ambition. This isn't just a manufacturing shift, it's a fundamental reshaping of global power, with consequences that will echo for generations. For over a century, the West led the world in industry and technology, setting the pace for innovation and economic growth. Now, China is rewriting the rules with state-led capitalism, investing heavily in green industries and rapidly scaling up production. The US and Europe are scrambling to catch up, launching their own ambitious green industrial policies and pouring billions into clean energy. The new great power competition is about green tech, not military might. Whoever leads in clean energy could shape the global economy for decades. This rivalry could accelerate innovation and drive down costs. making clean energy more accessible and speeding the global energy transition. Or, it could fracture the world into competing green blocs, slowing progress, raising costs, and creating new economic tensions. The stakes are enormous. Climate stability, economic power, and the future of global trade all hang in the balance. As of November 2025, China stands at the center of the green economy, setting trends and influencing markets worldwide. The world's response will shape not just the balance of power, but the fate of our sustainable future and the health of our planet. The green race is on, and the outcome is still unwritten. Every nation, company, and individual has a role to play. Will competition drive progress, foster collaboration, or deepen divides that threaten our shared goals? The next chapter depends on choices made today, choices that will determine the world we leave for future generations.